Martin, in some ways we're halfway through the school year with half term in the middle term approaching. I know there's been some really positive things that have happened so far this school year, and certainly recently there was a safeguarding review, I think, which showed how the staff are supporting the students.
Yeah, it's always a tough time of year, this, because we're kind of in that bit where we're trying to get the kids prepped for exams, and it's probably the busiest time of year, I always think. And I said to the staff this morning, sometimes I need to remind myself of the positives rather than getting bogged down with some of the other stuff. So yeah, we did have a safeguarding review 2-3 weeks ago now. Brad Turner leads up the safeguarding team, but we've got some brilliant people there. And it was really nice. The feedback we had was exceptional, actually. And one of the people leading the review, she said in particular, this was the bit I liked, she talked about the student voice, the student panel that she interviewed. It was probably the most positive she'd ever heard in a school. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm like, if we judge ourselves on how our students feel about coming to school, that's got to be a good thing. And the safeguarding thing is one of those, it's just got to be done brilliantly. There's no hiding places, no shortcuts to be had. So with Jess and Caroline overseen by Brad, I couldn't have a stronger team of staff. But what came out from the review was it extended much beyond that, and it was a big team effort. So that's music to me, isn't it? And
it's great to see the staff supporting the students, and also we're talking about support this morning, the support that the parents give the academy as well. You had a Year 9 options evening this week, and I gather the attendance was staggering.
Yeah, well, it was, considering the weather. It was last night, and it was absolutely foul. Mm-hmm. And I think we had around 90% of the Year 9 parents turned up. I've got to be honest, from day one in my time at Lipson, this group of parents have done nothing but support. Like every school, you have your 1 or 2% that ask questions of us at times. But we've had overwhelming support on a personal level and as a school. So it's a great opportunity, this, just to thank them again for the way that they do back us when they need to. But options evening, you know, it's a really important, we're looking at the next stage for these students and the courses that they take and the subjects they take. And, you know, if we get that right, we've got an even better chance of changing their life chances and them walking out with a bit of paper, that I always say. When 90% turn up and they want to engage in that conversation, we're doing something right, but I will never take parental support for granted. We work hard on it, but yeah, can't thank them enough.
You mentioned personal support then when you were talking, and since we've joined the Ted Ragg Trust, I know that you've had some personal support.
I've never had more support, Rick. I now have a coach, Roger Pope, who I've worked with for many years. I meet him 2 or 3 times a year, and we have a good chat about stuff. More recently, I now have supervision as well. So I'm working with a woman called Emma Lurie, and she supports me in a different way. So she enables me to have conversations and offload if I need to offload, and just unpick some of the things. Good luck to her, by the way, because I'm not sure sometimes why I'm doing what I'm doing and why I'm saying what I'm saying. But she just helps me unpick that and offload a little bit. So 2 examples there of the support I get, and the rest of the senior team gets similar support. And we've got staff doing various forms of training for various reasons. So it is important to us. But yeah, one of the benefits of being in our trust, certainly as a head teacher, I've never felt more support, I don't think.
And all this boils down to, as you said earlier on, of the children being the best version of themselves that they can be when they leave Lipson. Yeah,
everything we do has to come down to, is it going to meet the needs of the students? And every decision I make has to be student-led. I think one of the things that we've got better and better at in my time here is kind of getting rid of the clutter and concentrating on the stuff that matters. And if every member of staff genuinely believes that they're here to make a difference, to change the world, to change the life chances of the people on this estate, then we've got a chance. And while we've got everybody pulling in the same direction to achieve that, then hopefully we carry on moving in the right direction.
Just before we go, we ought to pass on our good wishes to the boys under 19 table tennis team, who have done remarkably well.
It is remarkable, this one. The table tennis has been strong for donkey's years here, led by Jamie Corson. But they're in the last 8 in the country, Now, I don't care what you're doing, whether it's table tennis or I don't care if you're talking about last 8 in the country, that's an exceptional level. So massive thanks to the staff involved, but isn't it great to have talented kids walking around the place like that? Yeah, and I think a number of those were acting out of their age range as well.
Yeah, and they take part in those zone finals, I think, or regional finals. I can't remember what exactly they're called, but they take place very soon in Bristol, so we'll be keeping an eye on that.
Keeping an eye on that. I'm looking forward to some national finals at table tennis, and I've got this little thing promise over here about our band eventually, if they get through the next 2, could be appearing at the Albert Hall. So a couple of treats for an old head teacher, perhaps.
Brilliant. All right.
Thank you.
Enjoy your half term.
Thanks very much.